companions. As you know, I've arrived in the Quartier Conservation Area, finally. The journey up to now was a bizarre sequence of unforeseen events. Each, of course, had its charm and its challenge, but each carried its own delay. And the planned 5 days of traveling stretched into 10 and then longer. I lost track of how long it took. But now I'm finally able to head into the wilderness. I have Mesada with me. He's perched awkwardly right on the edge of his seat. Towards the end of the day, we found a really nice camping spot. It was on the banks of the Quartier River, under a clump of huge rosewoods, and it ticked all the boxes. I had a view over the floodplain. I would have shade all day in the camp, and it was not too far from water. We could fish by foot. We settled into the camp. I settled down for some wine eventually, and a snack or two, and I eventually sought my hammock, and I started thinking about the next morning's exploration of the bush around me. But then the day was just a pale smear in the east when I was awakened by the sound of splashing water. As I lay listening, Mesada grunted from his lair next to the fire. He was lying almost in the fire in his meagre blankets, and I think he was very cold. I gave him my tracksuit to wear for the next night. So he grunted, "eh-li-faant." I lay listening for a bit longer, and then I swung out of my hammock and I started making coffee as quietly as I could. The wind was blowing in our directions, and they were making quite a lot of noise in the water, so they probably wouldn't hear me. It was quite cold, so I joined Mesada at his little fire with my coffee, and he had a mug of tea. He doesn't like coffee. And we sat listening to the elephant. When the light grew a bit stronger, I decided to see if I could possibly get a nice view on them and make maybe even some footage. And here is a video I made as I approached them. I hope you will enjoy it.
I am creeping up very carefully now. I have the telephone microphone right against my lips so that you can hopefully hear me. I hope you can, because I don't want the elephant to be aware of me. And now you can begin to see them. They're in the tall elephant grass in the floodplain. That's there, about 5 of them, but there's more to my left, behind the foliage. So I'm going to try and approach a bit closer. This one is very close. There you can see the movements for the first time, and there is the head of the one. I have to test the wind all the time to make sure that I'm still safe. It's blowing in my direction, so that's good. And that's her there. I think that's the matriarch. And there's a small one with her. Now I have to be even more careful, because if she becomes aware of me at this distance, there's no way that I'm going to be able to stop her with the usual ploys of shouting and waving. There is a little one behind her in the grass which you can't see, but it's very small still. This is wonderful to be able to watch them like this. There are actually maybe 8. This is fantastic. There she has turned towards me now. She's maybe a little bit uneasy. Maybe she heard something. They have poor eyesight, but they have very, very good hearing, and of course excellent smell. And there you can see the baby. He's still very, very small, covered in that coarse red fur that they have when they are very small. But I think I need to move away now. This is looking for trouble. If she becomes aware of me and can pinpoint me, I will be in danger. So I'm going to quietly move back.
Companions, that was my first real encounter with wildlife here, and I must say it was a very pleasant surprise to be visited by the biggest inhabitants here of the wilderness and to be able to watch them for so long. I hope you enjoyed it too, and I'm looking forward to having you for my next story. Good luck.